Welcome to the House of Zelda. This is the legend of my family ancestry. This is the story that has been handed down for centuries, and now I want to share it with you. I was always told we were a house of lightkeepers, a family who kept vigil for the things that moved when the world slept. Each candle in our window was more than comfort. It was a signal to what wandered between shadow and soul. My grandmother would smile and say, "Because shadows are persistent, Zelda, and sometimes they wear a man's face." She told me of a winter long ago, in 1603, when the snow came early and refused to leave. Our family lived at the edge of Gorlitz, where the forest breathed like a living thing. That was when the first whisper of the wolf began. The dogs would not sing that Advent night. No howls, no cries, only silence heavy as stone. The rafters groaned, the fire sighed, and even the wind seemed to listen. That was when the men of the house looked toward Ottilie, my ancestress. She was 24, unafraid of winter or men or midnight. Her hair coiled like a crown, and her keys hung at her waist like a promise. She'd learned to read the sky as others read scripture, finding omens in every cloud. When the first lamb went missing, they blamed wolves. When the second vanished, they blamed men. The third was found before dawn, its throat cleanly opened, and someone whispered whir, the word between man and beast. The elders had their rules for such winters. Never walk alone after moonrise, never answer the first knock. Keep iron near the bed, rosemary on the sill, and speak no names past midnight. A name, they said, is a lantern, and some eyes crave the light. Ottilie obeyed the rules until the night she didn't. The house felt heavy, as if snow had weight enough to crush it. Then came the knock, once, twice, and she thought of the rule that allowed the second. She lifted the bar, and winter exhaled into the room. A man stood there, handsome in the way a frozen field is handsome, dangerous and still. He said he'd lost his way and seen her light through the trees. Ottilie moved aside, and the man crossed her threshold like a question. He drank the ale she poured, his half-smile strange and knowing. The dog by the fire growled low, a sound older than speech. "Your dog is honest," the man said. "Honesty is hard in winter." Ottilie met his eyes and answered, "Harder in summer when lies grow easy." His laughter cracked like ice underfoot. He crouched near the fire, hands open to the heat. The scent of him was strange, iron, pine, and something untamed. Ottilie pinched her palm to anchor herself, a trick the old women taught to stay awake in danger. "The lantern burns blue," he murmured, eyes flicking to the candle. "Old wick or old house?" "Old story," she answered, and his pupils widened like something remembering its name. He asked about the missing lambs, the hunters, the priests. She told him lambs often pay for the shepherd's sleep. His smile sharpened, and the fire popped in agreement. The dogs settled. The room breathed easier. He looked at Ottilie as if seeing her for what she was, keeper, threshold, light. Then he whispered, Do you know the prayer for safe passage? She said there were many prayers. He said only one mattered, and it had no words. Outside, snow whispered secrets to the shutters. The night seemed to lean closer, curious. "What do you seek?" she asked. He didn't blink. "Permission," he said. "For what?" she asked, but he only smiled. He said, "To go where I go." She answered, "A door is only a door," he said, "and a threshold is a verdict." He spread his hands toward the fire again, and the light painted his palms red. His fingers seemed too long, his wrists too fluid. The bones spoke a language older than prayer. Ottilie took the poker and drew a circle in the hearth ash. The tip glowed, tracing a boundary not meant for eyes. The man watched, hunger flickering in his face. "Will you close it?" he asked. "Will you ask?" she replied. The air in the room tightened, waiting for the answer. He told her the hunters carried silver they didn't deserve. The priests carried questions that were knives. "I carry only myself," he said, "but the night carries me farther than I mean to go." She asked what she would forbid if she closed the circle. He said, "You forbid me from speaking your name where I shouldn't." "And where is that?" she whispered. He smiled fully now, lonely, weary, almost human. He spoke of lands where snow stands taller than men, where blood freezes faster than prayer. He said he wore a man's shape to keep from frightening children and old women. "And if I leave it open?" she asked. "I will ask each time," he promised. Then she closed the circle. The house sighed as if exhaling a spell. He bowed to her, not as a man, but as something older paying its due. "Lightkeeper," he said, and vanished into snow. In the morning, boot prints circled the house, but they ended as paw prints leading away. No lambs went missing again. The men hunted rumor. Ottilie kept her fire steady. Years later, an old woman poured tea and said, "We are a house of lightkeepers." Her granddaughter listened, and the story nested in her bones. That granddaughter would be me. I have stood in distant kitchens and felt the hush return like weather. Sometimes my lamps burn blue, and the air tastes of iron and pine. When I hear a sound on the stair, I whisper, "Traveler," and wait for the second knock. This legend of my family ancestry isn't about teeth or fear. It's about being the door that knows when to open and when to hold. That's what it means to be a lightkeeper of Gorlitz. Sometimes in the cold night air, I hear the distant howl and I wonder, did the traveler's ancestors follow mine throughout the centuries? I await the second knock, for until then, I shall not know, but I hope so.